I received this fascinating email from someone apparently called WebWeb, titled, "Please confirm if you did." Well, I think I need more details than that, so let's go scambaiting. WebWeb, or apparently Angela Johnson by day, asks, "Hi, please confirm if you did receive the email sent to you earlier in connection with redeeming your Lotto lottery prize. For further details, email me at this email address urgently." This format of scam opener email is increasing in popularity. There was no previous email. They just want to induce a bit of FOMO, I suppose. I replied, I did not receive it, either earlier or later. Angela sent through a scam explanation template in the form of an attached image, which I think we should look at because it is a thing of beauty. So this is the USA, UK, Mega Millions and BBC National Lottery, and it says, "Dear email owner, be glad this day as a result of the USA, UK, Mega Millions and BBC National Lottery 2024 Promotion Award has been released. Your active email address attached to this computer-generated ticket number, with reference number this number, has won you the lottery in the first category. This is from total cash prize of $8.25 million, shared amongst the 1,691 with brackets 4 lucky winner in first category. This is to inform you that you have won prize money of $1,350,000 US for 2022 prize promotions, which is organised by Mega Millions and BBC this 2023. I think they might have forgotten to update those bits of the template. Microsoft collects all the email addresses of people that are active online. Among the millions subscribed to Yahoo, Gmail, Hotmail and a few other email providers, 1,691 people are selected every 2 years to benefit from this promotion, and you are one of the selected winners. Payment of prize and claim. USA, UK, Mega Millions and BBC National Prize Award must be claimed no later than 20th days from date of draw notification. Any prize not claimed within this period will be forfeited. Stated below are your identification numbers, ticket number, reference number, winning number. These numbers fall under the America location file. You are requested to contact our fiduciary agent in United States of America and send your winning identification numbers to him for payment." So just to recap, this is the USA, UK, Mega Millions and BBC National Lottery paying out a prize in dollars to someone in the area of America, which somehow includes me. Of course, it asked for my personal details. You know the kind of details you should never share with a stranger on the internet. Scammer Angela sent me 2 emails containing just this attachment, but I decided to carry on saying I hadn't received it. I replied to one of the emails, I did not receive it, and the other, as mentioned, I did not receive it. Angela then sent a text summary of the same scam template, the email titled "Please for your," saying, "Hi, recall the lottery prize money you won as a result of an international promotion and bonanza program for people that never played the lottery. Your email address was chosen after a random balloting technique with a computer. You have to contact the claims agent Alan Brown for the processing of your payment." So this is a lottery for people who never played the lottery. Amazing. What a world we live in. I replied, "I do not recall it." Angela sent the same email again, but this time with the subject, "Contact your." I replied, "As I mentioned earlier, I think, I do not recall it." Now that I think about that, I'm not sure. Maybe I did recall it earlier, but do not now. Either way, I don't recall it now. Scammer Angela pressed on, this time with that fun scam template image inside a PDF. I replied, with a slight emphasis on the lied, "It's no use talking about an attached letter unless you attach it. There was no attachment." There was no response, so I asked, "When are you going to attach the attachment?" Is that the right way to say that? It feels like it might not be. Should it just be attach the meant? But I think this scammer probably just believed that I wasn't receiving the attachments and decided to move on. No further contact. But next, an email from Francis and Patrick Connolly, who have apparently merged into a Gestalt entity that describes itself as the Connolly. I am honoured to be graced by the attention of the one and only true Connolly. Again, the same FOMO induction tactic. Did you receive our previous message? If yes, decline this message. Otherwise, we want to use this opportunity to re-inform you that you've been selected to receive a cash donation of €2.5 million from Francis and Patrick Connolly. Kindly get back to us for further information on the funds claim process. I replied, I get a lot of messages. I might have seen it, not really sure. Francis and Patrick Connolly differentiated for a moment to reply to me, "Please read the attachment and submit your details to process the claim." The attachment was this delightful 4-page PDF presented in the style of maybe a certificate, which reads, "Attention, you're receiving this email correspondence from Francis and Patrick Connolly, the 2019 Euro lottery winner. My wife and I wishes to use this medium to congratulate you as you have been officially selected to receive a compensation amount of €2,500,000 from us in this month's donation support programme." Initially, we planned to commence our charity work towards the end of the year 2020 since we won the Euro Million lottery in the year 2019, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the recent world global financial crisis, we decided to extend our donation support scheme to commence in this year, February 2024, considering that things are gradually coming back to normal. Are they? My wife and I understand that, weird square bracket aside, there is absolutely going to be great doubt and distrust in your heart in respect to this donation notification email forwarded to you, coupled with the fact that so many miscreants and mischief makers who has been mimicking us, brackets my wife and I, and have taken possession of the internet to facilitate their nefarious deeds, thereby making it extremely difficult for funds beneficiary to believe that any assistance or support through the internet is real or genuine. And this has made too many successful funds beneficiary to forfeit her donation funds amount due to non-trusting the process. But we want to assure you that this is 100% risk and scam-free donation grant programs organised to support humanity and the less privileged. Oh, well, if you say so, then how could you be one of those miscreants and mischief makers? There was a verification link that goes to a BBC article about the genuine story that this scam is piggybacking on, where the real Francis and Patrick Connolly blather on to the BBC about how nice it would be to give away their fortune. Seriously, don't do this. If you win the lottery, keep the money, or give it away, or whatever you want to do with it. Don't get the press to publish an article about you that scammers can just use as a backstory for scams. Anyway, the rest of the thing rambles on about the donation support program to support the needy, and how it's a lifetime opportunity, and how I, a random complete stranger, emerged as one of the successful 50 lucky beneficiaries to claim the sum of €2.5 million. Of course, they wanted my personal details, you know the kind. And they promised a photo shoot with all successful funds beneficiaries. Told me I have nothing to worry about, and how they love me, a complete random stranger, and my family. I thought we'd try the thing about not receiving the attachment again, so I replied, "What attachment? There was no attachment." Maybe you forgot to attach it. The scammer sent it again. I said, "Still nothing. Are you sure you know what you're doing?" The scammer tried again, sending me the attachment now for a third time. I said, "I appreciate that you might be having difficulties with this. Please find a tutorial on adding an attachment to an email and do this properly." There was now no reply at all to this email, so I wrote, "Now there was no email either, as well as no attachment. What are you doing wrong?" Still nothing, so I asked, "Are you going to send the attachment?" The scammer then replied, pasting the text from that beautiful attachment to make this ugly email. I said, "Okay, but the attachment was still not there. Did you attach the attachment?" But that appears to be the end of that conversation. I did keep trying, but like the previous one, the scammer seems to have given up. But never mind, because I received this email from IMF Chief San James Amsterdam. Approved pending funds. My name is James Amsterdam IMF from Burkina Faso Undercover Funds Compensations. Contacts Ambassador to the Central African Republic Patricia Alice Mahoney for your Burkina Faso approved pending funds worth $75 million. Contact person Patricia Alice Mahoney, UN Ambassador to the Central African Republic. Now, in case you're thinking this is familiar, this scammer appeared in the last video, but after that conversation ended, the scammer sent me another one of these scam opener emails. I think they're probably managing such huge lists of email addresses of prospective victims that it's just impractical for them to remove people from that list for any reason, including when that reason is the email respondent was just wasting their time on purpose. Anyway, I replied, "Okay." Scammer Mahoney sent the same template as before, about a scam victim compensation payment that I was apparently due. They asked for the usual personal information, including that favourite, nearest airport. I answered the first item on the requested list. "My name is Manuel Gennaro Tourneur." The scammer just sent a terse email demanding the same list of personal information, but I've already answered part of this, so I said, "I already told you my name." Scammer Mahoney replied, "Please don't message me again if you're not ready to follow my orders and directions." Taken aback, I replied, "That seems quite a rude thing to say, Ms. Ambassador." I mean, it is. I was expecting something more like this.
The ambassador's receptions are noted in society for their host's exquisite taste. Rich, luxurious, unique.
Eccellente.
You haven't even explained what you want me to do, so how do you expect me to follow instructions? But the scammer just repeated the demand for my personal information. You know, the kind of information you should never share with a stranger on the internet. "Okay," I said, and asked, "But when are you going to tell me what to do?" Scammer Ambassador Patricia Mahoney replied, "Are you stupid and foolish?" in an email where the subject line was also, "Are you stupid and foolish?" This scammer seems to have a habit of writing emails that way. I said, "Some people have called me one or the other of those things in the past, but not usually both at once." So anyway, what am I supposed to do next? The scammer said next thing to do is send the revalidation fee of your payment files $5,000. But I pointed out, I meant the next thing after that. What's the next thing I have to do after sending the revalidation fee? This is important. The scammer explained, next thing to do after sending the revalidation fee of your payment files $5,000 and your full delivery details is to wait for 72 hours, 3 working for the arrivée of your parcel funds to your door post day. See, that's why I asked, I said. And, Counter explained, it would make more sense to me if we did the 72-hour wait first, then the post day, then the fund, then the fee. Sometimes it's best to do things in the unconventional order. You would understand this if you have ever built a wall or baked a cake. There was no reply, so I asked, I just wanted to confirm, have we started the waiting part yet? It feels like maybe we have, but I wasn't sure. No response, so the next day I wrote, still waiting? I thought you ought to know. A few days passed, and still nothing from the scammer. So I said, Dear Mahoney, I've waited over 72 hours now. What else? The scammer replied, if you wish to receive your funds worth of $7.5 million, kindly send the required fee, $5,000. Buy iTunes card worth of $5,000, send the copy with the purchase receipt. After sending and redeeming the fee, you will receive your funds within 72 hours. Now, I'm not quite sure how they expected me to buy $5,000 worth of iTunes cards, but anyway, I counter-replied, those are the things you mentioned before. I asked you what else. What other things are there in this process that we can be getting on with before the fee? And after the fee, or instead of the fee? Also, I don't think you understand. I already waited the 72 hours. Please cross that part off the list. But this was just about enough for Patricia Mahoney, who just replied, fool. And I think for once maybe the scammer here blocked me, because the email suddenly no longer showed the friendly version of the email contact name, only the email address. Next is a scammer that I just don't seem to be able to get rid of. This one's appeared in at least one of the episodes where I copied in all of the scammers on the same email list. Possibly also one of the follow-up episodes to that too. And still, this one won't, or maybe can't, stop talking to me. I mean, seriously, the barrage of emails has been going on for years now, with only the slightest occasional encouragement from me. Anyway, we'll pick it up here, where the scammer writes, I don't know the reason why you keep delaying this transaction. If you're not interested in receiving your funds, let us know what to do, and if we place your transaction cancelled, you will face the consequences. But if you are interested in receiving your funds, just go ahead and send the needed fee involved. Let us proceed further without any delay. I replied, OK. The scammer responded, and I think these responses are a mixture of stock text that they're pasting in from some document somewhere, plus individually written emails that they're sending without paying very much attention to what I wrote or asked. And I think the rationale is just that they will keep on hammering on about the fee in the hope that I will eventually pay it. Of course, I'm not going to pay it. Attention is needed now, space, comma.
Actually, simple as this. No.
Space before.
Comma.
Remember,
Punctuation.
is easy when you know how.
Boy, you sure make it sound easy.
I don't the reason why you keep playing with this transaction. It's up to the time you will send the needed fee involved, because we have given you so much time to be able to pay the needed fee involved. But I don't know why you keep delaying this transaction, because I don't want you to lose the opportunity that will change your life this moment. I wanted to know how long it would take you to send the request fee involved, so we can proceed without any delay and close the file once and for all. I will wait to hear from you as soon as possible. Show quoted text. The show quoted text bit at the end is evidence, I think, that they're just pasting in that paragraph from a different email they'd written where they'd sent this before to somebody else or maybe even to me. I know, I said. Read more. The scammer said, we have verified your address and it is well noted and understood. All the thorough investigation has already been made on your behalf on this fund, and I'm giving you 100% assurance there will be no problem on this fund as you stated above. And the only thing holding up your funds is the needed fee involved. We can proceed once we verify your payment, because I don't want you to lose this opportunity that will change your life. Just go ahead and send the needed fee involved. Let us complete this transaction and close the file once and for all. I will wait to hear from you as soon as possible. I thought I'd try a different tack. So, in order to get things moving, I've decided the fee is not necessary. But the scammer just pasted in another bit of blurb about paying the $300 fee and receiving the ATM MasterCard. I explained, as I mentioned previously, the fee will not be required on this occasion. The scammer's non sequitur reply this time was, I can never scam, because whatever someone sow, he, she shall reap. It's written in the book of Leviticus 19:11. You must not steal, you must not lie, or deceive one. Why will I go against God's commandments and steal from you? I can't do that because I will wrath in hell. So just go ahead and send the request fee involved. Let us complete this transaction once and for all without any delay. I reiterated, I'm not sending the fee. There's no need to do that. Another rambling, probably pre-written response from the scammer that, amongst other things, asked, I would like to know your budget over this transaction. Well, that I can help with. I replied, I'm glad you asked. The budget's basically zero. I'm hoping you will work for exposure bucks. I could recommend you to both of my Instagram followers. When I get the funds, that will all change. But for now, yeah, the budget is very small. The scammer said, "What is going on? I'm still waiting for the required fee of $300 space comma. Why are you still delaying the transaction, space comma? I want to know how long it will take you to send the required fee, space comma. How long are you going to send the needed fee? I await for your urgent and prompt response, space comma." "Are you reading my replies?" I asked. "We have resolved this matter already." And now, in an email that looks like it was actually written afresh, the scammer said, "You've not solved anything. The only thing holding up your funds right now is the requested fee involved. Stop playing this transaction that will change your life." I explained, "We've solved the problem of the fee by deciding there won't be a fee. This is very simple. A child could understand it. Except perhaps a very small boy." "Are you a small boy?" That seemed to upset the scammer, who replied, "Wash your mouth and know how you talk to people you don't know before we are still waiting for you to send the fee. Let us proceed further without any delay." Very professional of them to want to proceed without delay, despite taking offence. Top marks for that. I said, "I'm happy to proceed, just not with the part about the fee." But the scammer complained, "Have given you a lot of time to complete this transaction. You're still silent and delaying the transaction, space comma. Does it mean that you're no more interested or that you're not ready to send the payment yet? I want to know your obligation of sending the required fee so that we will complete this transaction, space comma. But if you're not interested, kindly let me know so that we will follow the principal and company transaction protocol, space comma. You were required to pay the fee of $300 for the authentication license code to enable your pending withdrawal to reflect, and it will assist you to withdraw a new transaction, space comma. Note that your response will serve us to know if we will cancel the transaction or to proceed, space comma." I counter-explained, "Listen, I think it's time for you to admit that you're the one delaying the transaction. I'm ready to proceed immediately now without further delay. It's just that you need to realise the fee is no longer necessary and move on from that. Let me ask you this. If the where was this and outward toward the end, how would the why be sooner than it was? Can you answer this?" But the scammer just retreated into copy-paste non-sequitur mode, writing, "Greetings to you, dear. How are you doing today? I've not heard from you yet about making the payment. We're still waiting for you to send the requested fee involved so we can proceed your funds delivery today. Once we verify your payment, I wait to hear from you as soon as possible." I said, "This is getting boring now. I don't like to exaggerate, but I must have told you a million billion times there is no need for a fee, because I don't want to pay it." But the scammer rambled on. "I have given you the opportunity to receive your fund, but it seemed like you don't want to cooperate." I explained, "I do want to cooperate, just don't want to do what you said." And pointed out, "I believe that you said that the fund would be cancelled after 24 hours, and that was the day before yesterday. Why have you not cancelled the fund?" Seems like incompetence. Also, how does one go about cancelling a fund? I'm interested to know the details in case it becomes necessary for me to cancel a fund on my own at some future point. The scammer pleaded, "What is going on? Comma with no space. I'm still waiting for the required fee of $300. Why are you still delaying the transaction, space comma? I want to know how long it will take you to send the required fee, space comma. How long are you going to send the needed fee? I await for your urgent and prompt response, space comma." I replied, "Why do you keep demanding the fee again and again? This is like listening to an impatient and needy child. Are you a small boy?" So this conversation is getting us nowhere. But meanwhile, another scammer had dropped something into my mailbox which was completely unrelated to this scam, but it did mention the HSBC bank, so I replied to that email, copying in the existing other scammer, to say, "The HSBC bank is already in contact with me, although I think the person corresponding with me must be a very young intern or someone on work experience from a primary school, as it's like dealing with an impatient toddler, or some other kind of very small boy. Perhaps you could intervene and get an adult to drop me a line." Nothing on that, so I tried again to both of the scammers. "Haven't heard anything from you, even though it's a bank holiday, so you have nothing else to do. Please let me know when you've found a grown-up I can speak to." I'm guessing maybe they don't have one. It's small boys all the way down because the scammer stopped responding. But if past actions are any useful predictor of future behaviours, we might see this scammer come back for another try at some future point. Finally, the scam recovery scammers are back in the comments on my channel. For the uninitiated, these typically promise to be able to recover funds that victims have lost to scammers, and usually are in the form of some gushy thank you comment. In this case, it was a comment that implied something that happened in the video that did not happen in the video. It was, "I love the fact that the victims were able to leave that message to the assistance team. They were able to tell that guy they are no longer victims. You are such an awesome force, NYD CLECK, to be reckoned. And that's why I watch you. Keep up the good work." Lots of exclamation marks. Hash. That's right, a wild CLECK has appeared. I wonder if this is the same scammer that had CLECK in the name before. Let's find out. I set my scambaiting persona, Monica Flange, to the task of asking an important question.
Hi? 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 Hello?
Hello, thanks for reaching out to my official page. Let me know how I can probably assist you.
How can you assist? It seems hopeless.
I can help you. Are you a victim of crypto scam?
How can you help?
What is the name of the company you were scammed?
That doesn't matter. I wanted to ask,
Go ahead and ask your question.
what is it CLECK?
That's our company's name.
But what does it mean?
I don't really know, Monica.
That's weird. Why did you call it that if you don't know what it means?
I'm not the owner of the company, Monica.
Can I speak to the owner? It's just that when you said welcome to my official page, it seemed like you were in charge.
You can only speak with the employees. No, I'm in charge of the company. That's how we welcome our customers.
Do you know the owner? Hello?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Ask him what is a CLECK. I'll wait. What was the answer? Let me know as soon as you've got my answer. I can wait. Although, as soon as you can, please. Hi. Did you find out yet? There is another thing I wanted to ask about.
Why disturbing my peace?
You haven't answered my question. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to ask.
What?
Are you from New York?
No.
Oh, I saw that NY in your username and thought maybe it was short for New York. But then, what does NYD mean? New York Dingus? When do you think you can get me these answers?
Monica, the N stands for Nova, while the Y stands for Yeshua, and the D stands for Derek. These are the founders of this company.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Did you ask them what's a CLECK?
CLECK is another name given to cybersecurity expert.
Is it?
Yeah.
By whom? It sounds more like an insult. Are you sure it's not an insult?
The dictionary meaning is hatch. It's not an insult.
Bug, if I worked in technology and someone said to me, that's Joe over there, he's a bit of a CLECK, I would assume that they meant Joe as an idiot. What does hatch have to do with cybersecurity expertise? Is this what the owners of the company told you?
I said this is what it means in dictionary, but in different meaning when it comes to cybersecurity.
Okay, but I have to ask, did the owners of the company call you a CLECK? Because if they did, I think they might be laughing at you behind your back.
I'm being called a geek.
Okay. I mean, that's not always a kind thing to say about someone. I think you should talk to them about this.
What?
Oh man, did they tell you it's okay to call you a geek? I think you should talk to them about this. They might mean you're a socially awkward freak. Are you okay? I don't mean to shock you.
What do you need exactly? Because if you don't let me know, I might end up blocking you.
Wow, that's weird. I'm only trying to help.
Help me with what exactly?
Your abusive employer.
But how may I be at your service?
I'm not sure you can. It seems like you have your own problems to work out. It's a shame because I heard you were an awesome force to be reckoned.
Are you insulting me or what?
I'm not the one that called you a freak. Or whatever it was they said. Are you okay? So anyway, hey, I was thinking, are these business owners like your parents? I just think this is a lot. Hi, are you there? I'm a bit concerned because you haven't responded.
Now, it's clear that Monica was heading in the direction of the small boy gambit, but unfortunately this scammer blocked her before that could happen. Before we finish with this particular CLECK, though, I should say that I noticed their Instagram profile, which is a very typical-looking scammer page for Instagram, has a link to a related website, which at a glance looks sort of professional and represents the investment of a bit more effort than I've typically seen from this type of fake hacker scammer. There are one or two lovely details we should look at, starting with this list of features for their supposed services. Providing expansions or consolidations, best networking and security solutions, affordable security packages and detailed results. It is a long-established fact that the reader will... Now, in case you're wondering if they really do have ethical hacker skills, there is this Certificate of Achievement, awarded by FBI agent, clearly demonstrating that NYD CLECK has successfully completed ethical hacking certification course and has knowledge of ethical hacking. I mean, how could you have any doubts after that? If you do have further doubts, why not check out the FAQ? Anyway, the purpose of this section is lorem ipsum dolor sit amet. I mean, it must be something like that because this placeholder text is also the answer to two of the frequently asked questions. Wait, I mean frequently questions, or is it important questions? And just look at these glowing testimonials, including one from Stephanie Adams. And what for me was the most ironic part, NYD CLECK exists to destroy the ugly phenomenon of unregulated companies trying to manipulate innocent people on the internet to invest in a fake platform that doesn't even exist. No, NYD CLECK is part of this ugly phenomenon, not any kind of solution to it. Here is the truth. If you're scammed and someone who's not from your own bank claims that they can recover your lost funds, you should assume that person is a scammer. It's really as simple as that. Anyway, that's more or less all I have for today, except to say that while I was messing around with NYD CLECK, the HSBC scammer came back for another go, pasting in another piece of text that I'm sure we've seen in exactly this form before. I just replied, "Is there an adult I can speak with?" and left it at that. The scammer went quiet, but I'm sure this is only temporary and we'll hear from this one again sometime. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, stay safe from scams, and I hope to see you again soon.